Just, this has to be on ESPN. Let's roll it. Boom, baby. Oh, my God. Damn. Look at, look at that. Look, the form. Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. It is Monday, April 29th, and Joe Biden. Good old Joey. The geriatric, the puppet, the guy that hits a golf ball backwards, falls up a flight of stairs, looks for dead people in the crowd, converses with dead people, full-on conversations with people that have been dead for 4 decades, fights with his teleprompter. Folks, they engage in battle every single day, and the teleprompter has never lost. It's undefeated. It's the heavyweight champion of the world. Joe Biden, right here, as you see on your screen, is still the worst president in American history. Patriots, damn, it's good to be back with you on this fine Monday morning. And boy, oh boy, do we have a clip here from the GOP. They came out with a 5-minute segment of nonstop Joe Biden gaffes, him losing his train of thought, fumbling through his words, fighting with his teleprompter, doesn't know where he's at, doesn't know his name, doesn't know who the hell he's talking to. Let's just see a little bit of this. Let's roll it.
Anyway, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. I was just thanking, anyway. I just, look, I mean, Putin's kleptocracy, yeah. It was in January, after being elected, the late January, early February. He said, it's not, we lead, not just, well, I won't go into it. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers. For 2 reasons. One, it's an impact that decades been making, because inaction was there was inaction with the Department of from
This guy's not all there, folks. He's not all there. And what do Democrats want? You know what they want. They're chanting it right here.
Look, folks.
He's dumbfounded. Look at his face. That's a face of shock. It's a face of shock. He can't believe it. These people want 4 more years of me driving this country into the ground. They want 4 more years of this. And it's not just this clip, you guys. You can find clip after clip. I mean, just the other day, he had another gaffe reading the word pause on the teleprompter. I told you, the teleprompter is undefeated. Joe has never won against a teleprompter. He says the word pause, and as he screws up, because he's not all there in the head. It's one thing if it was a gaffe, you guys. A gaffe is like a one-off, like it happens every now and then. Every week. This is why they stopped putting him out in front of the people, because he messes up all the time, because it's not working. They were chanting 4 more years right after he just got done drooling, forgetting what the hell he was doing, and saying the word pause. Well, the fables continue with Joe Biden, because he's not all there in the head and hasn't been for quite some time, but Democrats somehow elected this guy. In a span of 4 years, this guy went, allegedly, from the most popular president that's ever existed, with over 81 million votes. How he got that, I don't know. I mean, we all know, but we're on YouTube, so we got to be careful here. He went from the most popular president in American history to the worst popular president. I know it's kind of, counterintuitive, but he became the worst president in American history, basically. Now, he was never good in my opinion, but somehow Democrats saw something we didn't see, which we saw everything because this guy's an idiot. And now here he is on Howard Stern lying again about his life, like relentlessly during this interview. So Biden claimed that as a Delaware senator, In the 70s, after he lost his family and before meeting his wife, Jill Biden, he received salacious pictures from women, but reportedly gave them to the Secret Service. You guys, he didn't have Secret Service protection until like 2008. It didn't exist for him. So he just completely made this up. He also talked about how he saved like half a dozen kids from drowning when he was a lifeguard. Never happened. And then he was talking about how he was still lifeguarding when he was in law school. And supposedly that's not true either. At least none of this has been confirmed. He's just throwing stuff out there, which the other day he's like, I drove 18-wheelers. Dude, you don't even know how to drive stick. Okay, he knows how to drive stick, but you understand what I mean. He's never driven an 18-wheeler. Give me a break. So at one point, he claimed that he was arrested as a teenager while standing on the porch with a black family. Just fucking pull shit out of his ass. As people were protesting desegregation, calling it a true story. Oh, is it, Joe? Is it now? Okay. This is the same guy that on tape just 2 weeks ago said he was an activist, but yet in the 70s, he already got debunked for that story, and there's footage of him saying how he wasn't an activist, how it was all BS. But because he has dementia, these old stories that he used to lie about, and then in his own mind, because he's lied so much about them, that now they're a truth to him. Now they're being regurgitated, because that's what happens when you have Alzheimer's or dementia. This is what happens when you're on a mental decline like Joey is. And again, there's no evidence like that he was ever arrested at a civil rights protest. Like no documentation whatsoever. During the interview, Biden told another lie, claiming that he was the runner-up in a state scoring in football. Jesus. And Democrats are just like, oh, 4 more years. Yay. The dude's out of it. Not a clue. Here's the 18-wheeler one. That one still gets me. Could you imagine Joe Biden driving an 18-wheeler? Holy lordy. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going. The fact checks, the debunking tales. It's just, I mean, last week about his Uncle Bozy, right? His Uncle Bozy was eaten by cannibals. Like the whole story was pretty much false, but he continues to tell that lie. So that's going on what's happening with Joey. And not with Joey in the White House, but also one of his people that work for him, as we covered just in yesterday's episode, Karine Jean-Pierre, had a strategy against her. The White House was staging a coup to remove Karine Jean-Pierre from her position, and they can't do it because she's a DEI hire. That's not me making this up. Go check out the episode. It's 17 minutes long. We break down the entire article here, which we're not going to do again. I'm just giving you kind of the summary of it if you didn't catch yesterday's episode. So the White House tried to create a strategy of finding those that were closest to Karine Jean-Pierre and talk to her to basically try to nudge her out and saying, hey, you know what? Your tenure's kind of up. You ran its course. We'll get you a nice position somewhere. We've already put your resume out to some feeder places. They're willing to accept you. Why don't you just kind of go on your merry way? It's a nice time to leave because Biden's announcing his reelection. It kind of works hand in hand. We need somebody out there that can actually answer questions and not read from a binder. Well, she didn't want to do that, and she's going to stay in her position till whoever knows. The White House can't get rid of her, and they can't get rid of her, just fire her, because she's a DEI hire. She's a black lesbian. That's why they hired her, because it checked off the boxes, not for the fact that she's qualified to do the job, because she isn't. It's because of she's black and she's gay, so if you get rid of her, not only are you going to piss off your own party, the outgrowth of your party, the progressive left, but you're also going to piss off people because you're going to say, well, he's racist. Look what he did. He got rid of a black person. Not because she can't do the job, but because allegedly she's black. And then the LGBTQ community is going to come after you, saying, what a homophobe. He's removing a lesbian from their position. No, he's removing her because she sucks. And I think everybody can see it. So they're kind of screwed at the White House. Again, if you didn't check out yesterday's episode, I highly recommend you go check it out because we go in depth on this bad boy. There's some pretty funny things. It's really worth the watch. Trust me. Well, some other things that are going on around the United States right now is video shows anti-Israel Columbia protesters stomping on American flags, folks. Now, we talked about this last week where these people are asking for the genocide of Jews. So they're saying the quiet part out loud, which we've kind of known that that's what they were for the entire time. They just weren't willing to just say it out loud, but now they are. Well, it's not about just death to America, right? They were chanting this in Michigan. I think it was Dearborn, Michigan. About 3 weeks ago, we saw them chanting this. Now they're chanting this type of stuff on universities. If you're carrying an American flag at an American university as people that are attending college in America, they will attack you because you're an American. Now they're stepping on our flags here. So you got a student right here just doing that just as much. So he's walking around. I don't know if it's a he or she, to be honest. You can never tell. You can't assume anybody's gender anymore nowadays. A few American flags in hand, and if you see, he's going to walk up to the encampment here, and he's stepping on it. Just stepping right on the American flag. No respect, but yet he or she, whatever the hell this person is going to go to school here, potentially even have some grant money from the state, which is just your money at the end of the day. Joe Biden probably wants to sit there and relieve all the student debt for these protesters that hate Americans and chanting death to America, death to the Jews. Just lovely. And to hopefully kind of uplift your spirit here, I got an awesome video for y'all. If you haven't seen this Georgia State patrol officer pulls an NFL tackle on this protester. Oh, we got video. No, I got you guys. Oh, don't worry. Folks, this is one of the best hits I've ever seen. Folks, this guy, just watch this footing, the groundwork, you know what I mean? The stride that he has is perfect, okay? He's coming in at an angle, he's getting low, and boom! Just, this has to be on ESPN. Let's roll it. Boom, baby! Oh my God, damn! Look at look at that. Look, the form. I don't play football. I grew up playing 25 years of ice hockey, but I know a good tackle when I see it. The man gets low. Look at this. Look at this. This guy played football for sure. He gets low, right? He's squared up the shoulder. It's a clean hit. Oh, it's a clean hit. No. This is not a head contact hit. No. Right there. Oh, baby, right in the ribs. And boom, baby. Oh, yeah. That's how you do it. This needs to be in all training manuals across the United States for patrolmen. Good on him. Look at that. Oh, get on top. Yeah, that's how you do it, boys. Oh, yeah. Let's watch it in real speed again. He's going to sit there. It's a post play. Eli Manning or Tom Brady's hooking him up, and here he goes, folks. Oh, he's coming. Boom, baby. Oh, damn. Woo. That's how you do it. No, we're not done with this guy yet. This guy's not getting paid enough money. He needs more. Oh, we're not done with him. So after the tackle, the protestee or the protester, however you want to refer to her as, or him, hasn't had enough yet. Being escorted off campus, this is what happens.
You're hurting me! Just don't lift me! You're hurting me! Ow! 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 Help! Help!
I'm not kidding when I say that. If we can find this guy, can we start a GoFundMe for this state trooper? Maybe he has kids or a family. This is the person we should be paying off debt for. This state trooper right here. I got no qualms finding this dude, and I'm not big enough, but if I was, starting to GoFundMe, pay off this kid's colleges, take care of him, because dude, what a freaking hit. Am I right, folks? Just coming in clean with it. I had to share it with you guys. I couldn't have been more excited in all of today's episode to give you some good news like that. And the news continues here. Another professor here protests, screams, I'm a professor, while getting tackled by police. Just continues. I knew you guys were going to love today's episode because, very rarely do we get quality footage. But here we go again. Here's another trooper.
You're fascist!
It was a
You're, I don't know what he said about, I think he called us rabid cops or something. You guys are fascists. It's always fascist. Antifa's not fascist, though. Antifa, for the stuff that they do, you know, burning down buildings, assaulting people, assaulting police officers, civilians, journalists like Andy No, who wrote an entire book called Unmasked about it. You know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement, you guys, as well as Antifa, is basically what you're seeing here, right? The Occupy Wall Street movement, taking over Chaz and then converting the words to CHOP, which they took over an entire section. I think it was like Oregon or something like that. It's the same thing here. These idiots don't have a clue what's going on. They're not educated. You have to understand, they go, well, Brad, they're going to Ivy League. Grades are so inflated nowadays, you do not have to do much in high school anymore to get an A. Don't be fooled. These people are idiots, you guys. They are full-fledged idiots. They can read a textbook, but they are not street smart whatsoever. You could teach a monkey how to read a textbook, okay? You can teach a monkey sign language. Monkeys are not street smart. Some of them are when they're in a tribe, but you understand the analogy. I'm going too far. You understand it. Well, now they're just shutting down campuses. So they are fully just getting rid of education altogether, practically. So Cal Poly shuts down campus for remainder of the semester due to anti-Israel protests. So you pay all that money to get a quality education, and you can't even get it anymore because of these nut job leftists who are sitting there protesting Israel rather than protesting Hamas for all the things that are going on in Gaza from Hamas that started this whole thing by going into Israel and massacring a bunch of people and sitting there and taking Americans and Israelis as hostages and not wanting to release them. This could end tomorrow, but all the blame's on Israel. Folks, as we showed the other day, I think it was Saturday, if somebody did this to America, where they went into Texas and per capita killed like 35,000 people, and then sat there and took in a proportion of, say, I don't know, a university of hostages and pulled them back into like underground tunnels, America and Americans would unify, and whatever country did it would be flattened. We took over Iran, their navy, in like 8 days. Not really 8 days, less than that. That's probably 8 hours. Okay, I'll give you a real one. We sat there in the Gulf War and ran over the Iraq military, the third largest military in the world, in like 24 hours. Realistically, it was 2 weeks, but you understand what I mean. Ran them over. So now they're going to complain about what Israel's doing. I'm not saying it's fun. I'm not saying it's great, but that's what war is all about. Okay, war is evil. It's disgusting, but we've gone so long in roughly peace, if that's what you want to call it, without a world war. We've kind of forgotten what war looks like. So you have this here, where now they're just shutting down campuses because it's too chaotic. Okay, you got UC Berkeley going through their whole thing, where now they're remote learning. You got NYU with remote learning. You got Columbia University, where a bunch of nut jobs are on that campus. Cal Poly shut down. USC, you can't even get, USC shut down their commencement. Let this one sink in. These people, we're actually done with this article. That's really all it was. These people at USC, these seniors, were seniors during COVID when they were in high school. So they didn't get a graduation in high school. And now they're not getting a graduation in college either, because you got these whiny babies here thinking that they're heroes, protesting something that's happened on the other side of the world. If you really want to make a change, rather than sitting in your fucking tent, eating and doing classes on Zoom in your tent and getting your tuition paid for by your parents or somebody else is funding this whole thing, maybe George Soros, why don't you go over there and make a really big difference? That's how you're really going to start saving lives. Why don't you send some of that money there that you're getting paid for by setting up shop in these tents and everything, and maybe start a GoFundMe? Or why don't you start collecting food to send over to Gaza? Maybe that would be a better use of your time. But no, it's just easier for these people because they don't know what they're protesting. They don't know what they're doing. It's easier for them to act like idiots on college campuses across the United States because it's a 4-year vacation for them, because they're going to come out of college with a lesbian dance theory degree and not know how to do a damn thing. And you want to know who's really suffering right now? Is the people of Gaza, and now they've pretty much had enough of it. So what you have here is a short snippet from Fox News where Gazans are increasingly voicing anger at Hamas as the war with Israel continues to cause suffering and devastation in the Gaza Strip. That is one of the things that happens and is a repercussion of war. Is it great? No. But they ask a great question here. It's a phenomenal question. They should have predicted Israel's response and thought of what would happen to the 2.3 million Gazans who were nowhere safe to go, had nowhere to go. They, Hamas, should have restricted themselves to military targets. Correct. Finally, somebody's using their head. There's a reason why when we retaliated against the Iranians, we don't go after civilians. There's mistakes that have happened, of course, but we go after military targets. Hamas is a terrorist organization. They don't care about military targets. They don't care about the targets themselves. As long as you're an Israeli, they're going to kill you and rape you and take you as a hostage. So you got terrible images here of, look, you got to have a heart here. This is tough to see. Children crying. I don't know if they're trying to get food or water or both. Nobody wants to see this. Hamas did this. It's a repercussion from the Israelis running roughshod over the Gazans. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to fly food in. I don't see many other countries doing this. What is the United States doing? We're building a pier right off the coast so we can give them aid. And honestly, what I think it's going to turn into, I don't think it's going to turn into just aid. I think they're saying that for now. I think this is a way to get Gazans off. I think the next steps here are, yes, we're going to give them food, but I think we're going to start sending ships in and turning some other places in the refugee camps. And some of us are going to end up taking in, meaning us, the Americans, are going to end up taking in a lot of people from Gaza. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think this is just a pier full of food and water that's going to be going in. I think this is a way for people to get out because they can't get out anywhere else. Furthermore, terrorists bombed the pier. They were attacking the pier when Americans and United Nations people were on it while they were building it to help. This right here. But it's all the Israelis' fault. It's the Americans' fault. Death to Israel. Death to America, they chant. I'm not laughing at the picture. I'm laughing at the absurdity of what we're seeing because people are so stupid. Has Israel made mistakes? Absolutely. I'm not full-fledged pro-Israel here. I would love for this to end. I got no skin in the game. I'm a third party here just watching what's happening, trying to learn from it. Honestly, I really am trying to learn from it. From my side, I'm leaning more towards Israel, to be honest. From what I've seen from the Palestinians to them walking a fine line of supporting Hamas, but not supporting Hamas. We've been occupied when you haven't been occupied. Like, it's a very weird argument from seeing from the Palestinians or pro-Palestinian people. Well, there's that taking place. We're not done. And then there's an imam here who says that the Jewish state of Israel are savages and barbaric. Now, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here, just the benefit, because I don't know, that he said the same thing about Hamas. If he didn't, the dude's an idiot. So an imam speaking in Dearborn, Michigan, where they were chanting death to Israel, death to America chants, this month claimed that the Zionist people who support the Jewish state of Israel are savages and barbaric. So let me get this straight. Because you, as an American, some of you in here do support Israel, and I'm tending to support Israel right now more than I am pro-Palestinian people based on what I've heard them say, you're a savage and barbaric now. You're savage and barbaric. There's no kind of gray area. It's just black or white. You support them. Yeah, you're a barbaric. Yeah, okay. Not going to say anything about Hamas here, though, from what I'm seeing, but we'll continue. The Middle East Media Research Institute translated this speech that was broadcasted by the Islamic Institute of Knowledge. Zionism is the ISIS of today. That's a crazy claim. How about switch out Zionism with maybe Hamas is the ISIS of today after what they did, which was very reminiscent of what Hamas was doing? They took dead bodies of Israelis and put them in the back of trucks and paraded in the streets, hitting a dead person, breaking their limbs, and raping them. Don't give me this. I don't see this happening with Zionists. Does any of you? I haven't seen much footage of the Israelis taking dead bodies through their streets and parading and beating the shit out of them. If you guys have, let me know. I don't say they don't exist, but boy, oh boy, are they few and far between. And there was an ISIS for the Muslims. There was and is an ISIS for the Jews. The Jewish ISIS is 1,000,000 times worse than the ISIS of Muslims. The insane shit this guy's saying. And people eat this up. The members of ISIS do not commit the kinds of crimes perpetrated by the Zionists. What? What world do you live in, man? Who are you? Holy lordy. It goes on and on. I mean, the insane things this guy says, folks, is wild. But, some people have their heads so far up their ass, they can't see daylight and haven't seen daylight in quite some time. Well, we also have this here. I don't know if I'm for or against. This is where you come in. As the people, the Bald Brad Army, the viewers, the patriots. Let me know if you're for or against this. So you have a Republican lawmaker here. You've seen her before. This is Kate, was it Kamak? I'm totally butchering that. I actually do like her. She's actually a great congresswoman. That would prohibit members from bringing or displaying foreign flags in the House floor. Now, some of you might be like, oh, for it. That's awesome. That's great. The proposed ban comes after Democrats waved small Ukrainian flags in the House floor when the chamber passed this, which it frustrated the hell out of me that they were doing this. And here's a little bit of that clip. Look at these idiots. If you ever see a Republican doing that, send me a clip of it and I'll ream them a new one on my show. I'm not beholden to the Republicans. I'm a conservative. I'm a registered Republican. There's a lot of things Republicans do that I don't like. Okay, just as all of you, same thing. We can pick and choose what we like. We're not beholden to anybody. I'm not beholden to Trump. I'm not beholden to Biden. I'm just an average American patriot, just like all of you. If they do something stupid, I'm going to call it out. Democrats do a lot of stupid things, which is why we end up calling out Democrats quite often. So on the floor of the House, you saw these House of Representatives, Democrats, waving the flag. And what she's saying is that there should be in no way, shape, or form anything on the House floor that is other than an American flag. So she continued, this business should be carried out beneath no other banner than our stars and stripes to remind us of who we represent and why this nation is the greatest in the history of the world. But it makes sense that Democrats are doing this, you guys. It makes sense that the Democrats are waving these flags because you are a second-class citizen. They don't represent you. You might think they do, but they don't. They represent the Ukrainians. They represent the Israelis. They represent the Arabs. They give money to everybody else other than actually taking care of us. It would be one thing, folks, if we weren't sending billions of dollars like this package here, $95 billion in foreign aid to other countries. We need our railways rebuilt. We need the bridge in Francis Scott Key Bridge over there rebuilt as well. How about sending billions to that and fixing that up? Our train stations suck. Our subway systems suck. Our metro links suck. But we're going to send it to everybody else because, again, they don't represent the American people. They represent everybody else. And that's the Democrat Party for you. Well, you have that taking place. And again, I want to know what you guys think. I'm for this happening, and I want to tell you why. You guys know I'm guys. You know I'm pro-America, okay? I love America. I love the military. I love the vets. We're going to hopefully one day start a nonprofit for the veterans. That is the real goal, you guys. By the way, my grandfather was in Pearl Harbor. He's in World War II. My dad was in the Navy. Both were in the Navy. My grandfather and dad. And my goal is hopefully that someday we could be big enough to do something for the SEALs or the vets or something like that. So that's kind of the way further goal. I've always been vocal about that. But I want this to happen because it shows you who they are. Whereas if this was banned, you're not going to see their true colors come out. You know, them wearing like the African garb, which was just totally a double middle finger to what actually was taking place with the Africans in Africa. So it shows their true colors. That's why I want this to happen, because if it didn't, then we couldn't show tape of who they actually represent. These are a bunch of people that represent Ukraine. These are a bunch of people that represent anybody and everybody other than actual Americans. So that's why I would like this not to go through, because I want everybody to see on full display the nut jobs that these people are in Congress right here, and it's the Democrat Party. And like I said, if Republicans do it as well in the future, then we could call them out as well, because my opinion on this ain't going to change one damn bit. Well, lastly, the Biden administration, the Democrat Party, have been pushing this whole electric vehicle debacle, and the auto companies have been losing so much money. It's in the billions. But it's not about losing money. You got to understand that. They don't care about losing money, and I'll get into that in just one second. Ford Motor Company revealed this week that it lost more than $100,000 for every electric vehicle that was sold in the first quarter. Jesus. I can't even say it. Ford's electric vehicle unit reported a $1.3 billion loss on audio. That's with a B, because my millions and billions sound very similar. Oh my God. Amounting to a $132,000 loss per electric vehicle. Not per dealership, okay? Not per county. Per electric vehicle. The company saw a 20% decrease in sales volume because nobody wants one. Nobody wants one. Look, if Democrats were all like, I want the American climate to be better, and I want it to be smelling clean air, and you need to recycle. You know, if they sat there and actually were not just pandering, they would be out there buying these electric vehicles, but they can't afford it because Joe Biden's economy sucks. You're spending all your money that you had saved. I'm not kidding. That was what Janet Yellen spoke about. She goes, well, everything's doing great, but yeah, Americans are tapping into that savings that they've accumulated during COVID. That's not a good thing. Savings are for an emergency. That's why, Janet, it's called an emergency fund, where you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up in case there was an emergency and you could survive. So people can't afford electric vehicles, but you have these idiots in the Biden administration telling people, we've seen it on tape, telling people to go buy an electric vehicle. They're idiots. They're not with us. They haven't been for quite some time. So you have this loss taking place, and they don't care. The Democrats and the left, you guys have to understand that they don't care. Please don't feel like I'm lecturing you. Check your investments. So they have what's called an ESG score. And what they're doing is you have like BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, taking your investments. And what they're doing is they're putting it into these climate change investment opportunities, stocks, mutual funds, all those types of things without your knowledge. Or they're sitting there and putting them in non-ESG portfolios and then going in and recommending and holding these companies hostage by pushing climate agenda and ESG agenda on these companies. That's why you got to look at your investments, because you might actually be supporting this crap. They did it with the oil companies. They did it with Exxon, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, ganged up on Exxon and Chevron. And they sat there and said, you need to sit there and stop drilling as much and basically choking the supply chain on oil. And you might go, well, Brad, isn't that counterintuitive? Like, wouldn't the investments lose money? Yes, you are correct. Ding, ding, ding. It's not about losses. They don't give two fucks. These people will destroy anything and everything to get their way. You're seeing it on college campuses. You're seeing it with Disney. You're seeing it with the media. You folks, at this point, them having losses and driving companies into the ground, or sitting there and hollowing out localities, meaning actual cities where now businesses are going bankrupt and just fleeing from these areas because of the Democrats' ideology. They don't care. That's why they're still going to vote Democrat. Damn it, I'm going to play it again. You twisted my arm. I'm going to play it again. They want it. They want it. The guy down here is laughing. That guy on the right over here by my head, over here, this guy is just laughing it off. Oh man, that'd be so great to see this guy for 4 more years. I want my taxes to go up. Joe Biden's proposing like a 40% plus tax on corporations when things are already expensive. You guys, this is how you know they don't understand how things work. You guys are all intelligent. You know this. If they sat there and increased taxes on corporations, where does that tax get passed on to a lot of the time? I'm not saying every time, but a lot of the time. Just put in the live chat or comment section. Where's that tax getting put onto? That is correct. That is correctamundo to you guys. And California, we see it. The minimum wage for some fast food workers is $20 an hour. $20 an hour. You know, I got my bald, I'm going to plug this a little bit. We got Bald Brad Show mugs, okay? Links in the description. I have actual coffee. You can see there's a little bit left over there, okay? The coffee's already brewed. I come into work, hey, everybody, I'm here for my $20 an hour. And you sit there, somebody's already brewed it, and you pour it into the cup. Here you go. That's $5. That's by the way, that's a real number, by the way. $5 for this cup of coffee. That's why I brew my own coffee. $5. And then you wonder why it's $5, because the dude wanted $20 to do that. It takes no intelligence. It takes no skill whatsoever to do that. And these idiots wonder why everything's so expensive in California. I'm telling you, some things this works. Some things for Democrats, this works. Sometimes. Recently, I don't know what happened, but it's not working when it comes to economics. Probably because we're passing these kids through an education system and they come out knowing nothing, and then they go to universities, and then their professors get arrested because they're protesting Israel, and that's what they want to spend their time doing, is being activists rather than actually teaching And so we come out of the university system still not knowing anything. And who do they vote for? Joey. Yes, they vote for Joey. This guy right here. This is the guy that they vote for.
From Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway. The idea that and Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce right, Shanga. But there's, there to be, beginning this effort, and I want you to know that I want to thank you as well for. But the nature, not. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to look.
This is the guy they want. This is the guy they want, folks. We know it's the guy they want. Oh, we know it. They're chanting it. They're chanting. Folks, we are screwed if this guy gets elected again. We are screwed. Will the system survive? Yes. Will you as Americans? Absolutely not. Your wallet is going to shrink. You think it's bad now. Oh, you think it's bad now. It's weird how this has happened almost every time Democrats are in office. There's a theme here. Nothing hasn't happened with Republicans. It has. It's always going to happen because there's things that happen globally. But no, there's definitely blame to be had on Joe Biden here, and I know you're all aware of that. But that's our show for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Damn good episode to kick off the week, was it not? Folks, that tackle. Can we go back to that real quick? Can we just end the show up on an even better note? Just the tackle. The tackle is just insane. Like, well, we're going to play it one more time. We have to. Look at this stride, man. Oh, my God. Boom, baby. Woo. Woo. And we get the slow-mo. Like, how do I get that? Just right here. Just boom, baby. You know what I mean? And you know what they did? They tucked her, right? So now you just, bam, driving them right into the grass. Just, the face just scraping. That's how it's done. That dude deserves a raise right there, folks. With that being said, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below. It does support the channel. It really does. I need your guys' help to grow here. It's amazing that we're even able to grow with what's happening with YouTube and our shadow banning. And if you really want to go above and beyond, what we have to do strategy-wise is I have to spend money on advertising to get past the shadow banning, basically. So if you want to support the show and help us out that way, there's a membership tab over here. There's not many perks other than the fact that I see your comment before I see anybody else's. So you're basically first to get read. It always notifies me, and I do read it if you're a member. And again, leave us a comment down below. Check out all our stuff, folks. God bless you. You are patriots. You love this country. And I'll see you next time here on The Bo Brat Show.